helped us, brought us together as a team.
Yeah, we'll find out, Tina, and they like to do a lot of this. Quickly out of the hands of the quarterback, Colby Suits, getting his first career start here at ULM. And Ross, we don't know a lot about this young man, but what's your take on the strategy for Viator today with playing both of them?
They want to get both these quarterbacks comfortable. 6'3", 240 is Suits. Hunt is 6'2", 245. They're big guys with big arms. They're not the runners that Caleb Evans was a year ago, so you'll see more RPOs than just straight zone reads.
Well, Matt Viator talking earlier in the week as Josh Johnson gets to carry his first of the game about Suits. He said he's been waiting in the weeds, and we're ready to give him an opportunity as Army gets the stop there. Nicely done, brings up 3rd and 5.
John Radigan already watched the run stunt right here. He's going to come around and be able to get in on this play. He had a huge game last week. Watch, he finds it, sneaks in there past Fialoa. Man, Radigan. Jeff Monken told us he loves him because he's a senior starter. Monken didn't start till he was a senior. Radigan already making the most of this game as well.
He is. ULM was 40% on 3rd down a season ago. Their opener here in 2020. Suits got time, forced out now. He'll tuck it under the right arm, takes the shot. Eric Smith was there. Also getting in there on the tackle was Andre Carter. And it's a good play on defense there on 3rd down for Army here. Brings up a 4th and short. Right now, well, they're starting to trot off now. I was going to say for a minute they might be going for it.
There was all kinds of time for Suits. He just couldn't find anyone. He elected to tuck it away and creates a 4th and short situation. Very physical tackle there from both Smith and Carter. 4th and short. I think Viator really thought about this, but it's a full 2 yards. That's tough to get against Army. I agree with the decision to punt here. I don't think you want to turn it over in your own end this early in the game.
Yeah, and you got to believe as they bring on their punter now to boot this away, Jared Porter, that he might have been thinking, as this punt nearly blocked, about potentially going for it, because when you play Army, and especially you look at what they did last week, as this is down to around the 40, you don't get that many opportunities. But they boot it away, and Army will come out trotting out for the first time today after a 17-yard punt. Christian Anderson, that's what he did on the ground in his passing numbers. What else did you take away from him last week, Ross?
I thought he was just really efficient. You could tell that he played a lot last year, including in the Army-Navy game. Was smooth with all of his reads, made the right plays, threw it pretty well. And you can definitely tell how much more physically imposing he is. He gained 20 pounds during the quarantine. He said it was all the ground beef and macaroni his mom made him in the Bronx. Sounds delicious, by the way, right about now.
I know you are a food enthusiast, and you perked up yesterday when we talked on that very topic. The handoff on the first play from scrimmage for the Black Knights to Sandon McCoy, fresh off a 3-touchdown game last week, the second in his career. And up front, man, were they good? An offensive lineman's dream last week, Ross.
They had 123 knockdowns on 68 plays. 1 per game is good. 1.5 per game is the goal. They beat the goal, and the first-time starting center, Connor Bishop, 20 knockdowns on only 46 snaps. Unreal.
First time in his career, high school or college, albeit he's early in his career, as they get it to the perimeter. Hobbs, little stutter step, and the Warhawk defense gets over there, but not before Hobbs able to pick up the first down. Just to finish that thought on Bishop, he hadn't started at center ever in his life. What a performance by him up front. Defensively for the Warhawks, Ross, the last 4 years have been one of the worst teams in the country against the run. They're going to be tested and then some today.
Well, and Mason Hussman, the D tackle, is really the only guy up front that has a lot of experience. Their D coordinator, Scott Stoker, said for the other 3 guys getting their first playing time, he said this will be a game they'll never forget.
In many ways. They hope the good way. There's a nice play on defense, turned in right there. Excellent job of staying home there by the linebacker, Travion Webster.
Some good early signs here for Louisiana Monroe. Travion Webster, right side of your screen. He's going to defeat the block by Brandon Walters. Oh, my goodness. Knocked him flat on his butt before he made that play. Wow. Travion Webster.
Yep.
You can tell he's been itching to play.
Senior out of Longview, Texas. He's played the same spot all 4 years on that defense for ULM. He made a solid play there, limiting Army to just a yard. Here's Anderson near side, slithers inside, and He's finished off at the 40-yard line. Coming over to make the stop there was Brandon Nettles off the end. 3rd and short coming up, Ross.
Take a look at the B-back. That's the fullback. Keyshawn Johnson tackles him, and there was huge room there then for Anderson.
And Army quickly snaps the ball. They may have to measure for this. They needed to get just inside of the 39, or the 40 to the 39, almost a full yard.
They're going to go here. There's no hesitation whatsoever. We talk about it often, but Army has an analytics service they use that tells them in every situation whether or not to go for it on 4th down, and 4th and inches, they're definitely going, usually the fullback or a quarterback sneak.
Army 1 for 1 last week against Middle Tennessee. Anderson gives it off. There it is, right on cue, Ross. As Sandon McCoy bangs his way inside of the 35-yard line, dropped at the 32-yard line.
And we're seeing once again the right side of the line. These guys, that's the guys that they want to run behind. Reeder, Hunter, so much experience. They've both been starting since their sophomore year. When Army has to have it, Ben, and they've got that unbalanced line to the right again, when they have to have it, that's the direction they want to go, the right side.
Cade Bernard's in it. The B-back, the fullback spot. Anderson fakes to him. Anderson pick up of about 5 yards on the carry. Sweeney in on the tackle. Kilo Sweeney. Good one on the back end for the ULM defense.
Man, there is some pads popping already.
Yeah, there are.
And without having a huge crowd, Ben, we can hear it. I know all the cadets are here, but we can hear some pads popping already in this game.
8th play coming up here on this opening march, as I like to say, for Army. Jacoby Buchanan, the human wrecking ball, they call him. Just over the 25-yard line. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. So 3rd and a long one, call it, Ross?
Yep, and it's obviously 4-down territory.
Yep.
It almost always is, unless there be a huge loss on this play. And again, almost always the fullback or the quarterback, when they have Buchanan in there, they know he'll fall forward.
Yep, 260 pounds, and he didn't even have to fall there. Picking up that 1st down to the 23-yard line as we approach 8 minutes remaining in a rapidly moving 1st quarter here.
It's always rapidly moving when Army plays because
Yep.
the clock never stops.
Never stops. Buchanan 9 for 33 last week. Averaged 3.7 a carry. Got a lot of playing time in the 2nd half. Sandon McCoy really only played the 1st half of the game. We got a timeout here.
I think they're going to measure it. I thought he got it pretty easily.
I did too.
From up here.
They are going to measure. A referee for the 2nd straight week here is Mike Roach from nearby Albany, New York. They bring the sticks out, as you said, Ross.
Looked like he had to get to the 28. He got to the 27 and a half. Or no, I'm sorry, the 23. He got to the 22 and a half.
Oh, yeah. Here's Mike Roach saying that's a 1st down. Move the chains.
They should have just asked us. We have a better view up here. Could have saved everybody a bunch of time.
The eye in the sky. Corps cadets, they're in masks. 0 positive test here on post, as they call it at West Point, going back to June 1. And I was thinking about this yesterday, Ross. You know, as good as Army played, there's a lot of reasons that they played as good as they did, but think about it. The men and women here have not left post since June 1. There's a lot of pent-up enthusiasm and adrenaline in there, I suppose, right?
Absolutely, and Army's offense hasn't gotten on the perimeter yet either. We might see that soon.
Keep your eyes on Tyrell Robinson, number 21, he's in the game. They go right up the gut here, and a good push up front by the Warhawk defense. You saw Austin Holly, 15 there, with his hand in the air. Keyshawn Johnson credited with a tackle for their defense right there.
They're doing a pretty good job on the fullback dives. Those are the B-backs, they call them. And so far, that Louisiana Monroe, ULM, they'll take that. Keyshawn Johnson coming off the edge, that's his responsibility. Usually the free safety will have the quarterback, but the interior 4 or 5 guys, they're responsible for the fullback.
So 2nd down and 8. And Anderson bobbled the snap, had to fall on it. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long here for Brent Davis, the offensive coordinator in the Army offense.
2 things, Ben. Number 1, that's killer for Army's offense because it gets them totally off schedule. Let's take a look at it, and it looked like Bishop was a little bit short on the snap. Remember, he never played center any level of football until starting last week. He's been a center for 3 weeks, and look to me, I'll usually blame that on the quarterbacks, trust me, but that one looked like Bishop shorted it a little bit.
All right, so 3rd and 9 they call it now for Army. Anderson's got to look to the air, now on the run. Anderson inside the 20, got a good block, gets down near the 10, and Christian Anderson losing a shoe there, puts the wheel back on. Hunter Smith forced him up, but a 1st down for Army.
What a luxury it is to have a quarterback that can run, because Connor Bishop misses his block. Pointer's in there right away. Anderson had to scramble, and he got a nice block downfield from one of his buddies, but that play was done. I mean, they wanted to throw the ball, and Pointer got early pressure. Anderson had to run and was able to get the 1st down.
Yep, the freshman out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, Kevin Pointer. 1st and goal now. Anderson left side, faked the pitch out there. And they'll take it down to the 6-yard line here with 5:40 and counting left here in the opening quarter. Today's Red Zone brought to you by our good friends at Verizon. What Army did last week, I mean, they were flawless. They had 6 possessions on offense. The last was for about 70 seconds to end the game, and they scored 5 touchdowns. They didn't miss a beat.
Kind of surprised Sandon McCoy not in the game at fullback. This is usually his territory.
Anderson 6 for 30 carrying the football so far. Going to carry it again. Good job again up front. Really good job up front. Tackle made there by Seth Mason. Outstanding work out of him. So 3rd and goal coming up here, Ross.
ULM's doing a nice job chasing some of these plays down. 94 Mason stunts inside, fights off the block of Reeder. You know, that's one where Reeder's got to be, it was zone to the right. So Peyton Reeder's got to be responsible for that gap to the right when you
score on the drive. But going back, Ross, the bigger thing there was that punt of just 17 yards by ULM.
Yeah, that hurt because it was 4th and short. They elected the punt, and then they got a bad punt afterwards. I actually thought ULM did some pretty decent things defensively there. They made Army work for it, but Army still scored.
Yep. Here's Isaiah Phillips. He can fly at a 35-yarder to start the game. Took a shot, and he's dropped near the 23-yard line. And we got a chance. Want to remind you tomorrow at 6 Eastern, get ready for the most intense 8 seconds in sports as the best bull riders in the world head to Montana for the PBR Ariat Invitational right here on CBS Sports Network. So our second look at ULM's offense and their starting quarterback here today, Colby Suits. Josh Anderson, number 8 there. He is an outstanding back, was 13th in the country last year, averaging 108 yards a game. They want to get him going and work in those passes to Peterson and some of their high-end receivers with speed and skill. Here is Johnson. Drags a couple to the 26-yard line. So that offensive line up front, Ross, 4 starters gone from last season. That's 127 career starts gone. But who do you like up front among this group?
Well, you see Zach Bro, the center. It's the guy next to him, TJ Fialoa, the right guard. He's got 23 starts in his career. Broke his ankle last year, was able to get a redshirt year. His coaches think he's a future NFL player.
Yep, the bell cow up front for them. Out of the gun, Suits into the breadbasket of Johnson, getting in through the left side of the line. Good penetration turned in there by Army to bring up a 3rd and long. Eric Smith involved in the stop. Also getting in there was Nolan Cockrell.
Watch Eric Smith. Amadeo West goes out. Eric Smith hits it right there. This is a run blitz. Watch. West goes outside for a reason. Eric Smith fills the void. ULM doesn't have anybody to block him. Really good design by Army D coordinator Nate Woody again.
Eric Smith, the hammer. He can really play this game. He is a good one. And a long line of linebackers here. Suits to the air, deflected, and incomplete looking there. The 34-yard line for his main man, Josh Peterson. It'll bring up a 4th and 9.
Cannot go 3 and out against Army like this. You just can't. And they did a good job getting pressure. It's 5 guys, and they stunt up front. Amadeo West gets in there. Here comes Eric Smith off the edge. And the nose guard, Nolan Cockrell, with his left hand right there. He's a first-time starter as well. Had a great game last week. Jeff Monken pointed him out to us, and already off to another good start today.
Yeah, he was raving about him, the way he played, the physical nature of his game. Porter on for the second time at a 17-yarder, and Army brings the heat. This one a much better punt, and there's going to be a flag. They ran into the return man, Tyrell Robinson.
There's two flags because they ran into the punter as well. You don't see that very often.
You don't. Mike Roach, our referee, may have a do-over here coming up. Here, so Army for the second time today with the football. How about this number, Ross? Army's got 3 drives of 15 plays or more in not even 5 full quarters of football. And 2 19-play drives last week, and a potentially big-time saving tackle, and a penalty flag comes in as Hobbs had the rock, and he was dragged down, horse-collared by Austin Holly.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 15. 59 penalty added to the end of the run, first down.
It was actually an unbelievable play by Hawley. Watch him make the tackle, right hand right there.
Yep.
And the rule is you don't actually have to have your hand inside the shoulder pads for it to be called a horse collar. Even if you're on the nameplate or the number there, it's really the act of pulling the guy down from behind like that that causes the penalty.
That's right, 11-yard pickup plus the penalty for Hobbs. On the outside, look out, Tyrell Robinson. This young man is something special. I haven't seen a player like on this Army team like him in 9 seasons here. He is a different level player, Ross.
It was the first time they'd been able to get him the ball. You'll see him come around in motion as Army's going quickly. The pitch to Robinson. First time Army got the edge today.
25-yard pickup. Heavy shot delivered on Anderson, the quarterback there. And they blow this play quickly.
Previous play is under further review.
So Robinson, who went up that sideline, has to be what they're looking at, right?
Yeah, they're going to look and see if Tyrell Robinson stepped outside when he went off the block of Michael Roberts, the junior receiver. Roberts gave him a great downfield block. Robinson went outside of it. There's a question as to whether or not he stepped on the white. Roberts is blocking.
That right foot right there.
Yeah, I'd say right there at about the 14-yard line. It looked to me like his right foot. Maybe got a better angle here. Watch his right foot.
Right there. Twice there.
Yeah, I don't know about the first one, Ben, but I'm pretty sure the second one, he touched the white line. I think he's okay there. That one, I think he got.
There. Yep, you're right.
Man, he's close.
He is very close.
I never understood how running backs and receivers are so good at knowing just where the out of bounds is typically and keeping their, I mean, if my big feet were running down that sideline, I would have stepped out of bounds long ago. But they typically know right where it is. Left foot's good, right foot still good there.
That's
Left
good.
foot still good. That right foot at the 16 is questionable, and at the 14 and a half, it clearly looks like it was out.
It sure does. Our verdict is coming here as Mike Roach has the headset off. And we'll get the word from him after they took a look at this.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. It'll be Army's ball at the 11-yard line, first down.
So the play stands, and the freshman, Tyrell Robinson, who last week led Army in rushing with 94 yards. Middle Tennessee had 75 as a team, man, on 9 carries.
So what they're saying there, the booth operator, the replay official, did not feel like it was conclusive that right foot stepped out on the 14 and a half. I think he did, but I'm okay with them saying that it wasn't indisputable visual evidence that he stepped out.
24-yard pickup for Tyrell Robinson. Army set up again here. Anderson slithers his way inside of the 5 down to the 2-yard line, setting him up a second and short.
And when they have somebody on the ropes, Ben, they like to go. And then this is typically fullback or quarterback zone.
Sandon McCoy has got it, and he is shy of the end zone, inside of the 1-yard line. They had 21 Tyrell Robinson there going in motion as a decoy.
Thought they blew that one dead a little early, but when they get people on the ropes, they get down near the goal line.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Okay. McCoy in, second effort, had to have got McCoy in, and Sandon McCoy now with 4 touchdowns on the season.
It's fullback belly to the left. He gets it, runs right off McCleary, gets hit hard at about the half-yard line, keeps spinning. He's not down. I mean, no body parts are down there. Tremendous second and third effort by Sandon McCoy. I actually thought they blew it dead.
I did too. There was no signal.
And remember, Ben, they have electronic whistles this year.
Yes.
And you wonder if some of the guys heard the electronic whistles and stopped and some didn't. Because there were some other ULM guys just standing around while McCoy kept fighting. That could have been an electronic issue.
Yeah, you're very well right on that. Salyers on for the point after, and Landon Salyers makes it 14-0 out of the hole to Brooks Osei. So the real McCoy with his 4th touchdown of the season. Not even out of the first quarter, it's 14-0 Army already. You back in, or if you're just joining us here for the start of the second, that is Ross Tucker. My name is Ben Holden. Tina Servasio down on the field. Bill Thayer, our producer today. Matt Plundo, our director. Tom Wicks, our AD, and all of our great crew. As Suits takes a shot downfield, got a man. It is caught and tripped up and saving the touchdown. It was caught there by Bloomfield, their fastest guy. And a great job of making the stop there by Cameron Jones, or they're on the board.
ULM, bottom of your screen, they're going right on the football. It's just a deep post. He flies by Cameron Jones, the backup corner. It was time for ULM to take a shot.
Certainly was. They needed that to begin this quarter. And
My time for an injured player.
Army players slow to get up. You hear the word from Mike Roach, our referee today. 49-yard pass play from Suits to Bloomfield, as they tend to Kwabena Bonsu. He is, as they say in the football world, Ross, got quite a motor up front.
I don't think the ULM coaches are very happy about that, because they're trying to figure out how a guy can run 50 yards downfield to get ready, but they're going to hurry up. They want to snap the ball, and then he gets hurt. I think ULM's a little suspicious of that. But he's flexing his elbow, and he's got a brace on that elbow. So it might have been as easy as something happened on the play before. He ran down because he knew ULM wanted to go on the football, but that elbow kept bothering him.
So they'll take Bonsu off. He'll walk off there. You see under his own power. And Matt Viator, ULM head coach, 9-4 in openers, 3-1 at ULM. His team was 5-7 a season ago, 4-4 in the Sun Belt. And as Tina, if you weren't with us, addressed in our open or early on in the broadcast, this program has been through a lot. They had to shut down due to COVID. Then they had to deal with a hurricane. I was talking with one of their radio folks at the hotel this morning, and he said there's another hurricane. They're projecting it could come to that part of Louisiana again. So they have been through a ton. First play for ULM inside of Army territory, and Suits swings it out. Into the skill guy's hands on the outside. Good pitch and catch there, and it's reeled in over there by Chandler Whitfield, a freshman out of Zachary, Louisiana.
I'd like to see them do even more of that.
Yeah.
You know, their advantage, I believe, even though the Joshes are excellent players, Johnson, the running back, Peterson, the tight end, Army is hurting at the cornerback spot.
They are.
Get their elite athletes out in space, see if they can break a tackle and go the distance.
Yep. Don't have their full complement. Last week, both starters out. Javari Bordeaux is available, but only if he is needed in an emergency situation. They go on the ground here to Johnson. Is this here coming up, Ross, on third down where you look for big number 86, Josh Peterson, that tight end that's so good?
Absolutely, but he hasn't. I don't think he's been in the last couple plays. It's still number 88,
Lamb.
Tyler Lamb, his backup that's out there. I haven't seen Peterson the last 3 plays. The coaches were very clear. He's their #1 guy, and a nice job, meanwhile, by Ryan Duran, a backup D lineman for Army.
ULM 1 for 3 on 3rd down. They need 4 here.
Man-to-man coverage at the top, Ben, if they want it.
They look that way, and pressure comes, and Suits is dropped. They get through with a pressure. Johnny Nation, they call him. John Radigan, like he was shot out of a cannon with a huge play for the Army defense.
Man, these linebacker blitzes are getting home for Army. Watch Radigan right here. They're going to run a stunt, and he hits it. Watch right in front of him. He's going to let everything unfold in front of him. And then he hits it right there. See, to me, that's a mental error right there, Ben. I mean, if you get a linebacker, he's the middle linebacker, he's up on the ball. Someone for ULM has to account for that. That's a mental error.
Loss of 11. Here's Hughes on to attempt a 37-yarder. And Army gets a piece. ULM put together their best drive of the day so far, but Johnny Nation, John Radigan right up the middle, getting Colby Suits there, Ross. Nearly yanked the ball out of there, and then they lined up for a field goal, and that didn't go so well.
No, it didn't. The right tackle, Sam Williams, right there. You always need to protect your inside first. He's got both gaps, but the inside's the priority. He gets knocked back by Nolan Cockrell and Ryan Duran. Looked like Cockrell got a piece of it. Williams not stout enough at the point of attack. Whenever you're on field goal or extra point, your inside gap is your priority. Obviously, it's closest to the kicker in the football.
Army back to work. Santa McCoy bursting up the middle. It's all the way through the second level to the 3rd, and they drop him at the 36. Move the chains for Army. Good way to start a pickup of 16.
Excellent block by the center, Connor Bishop again. And McCoy able to break it for a pretty long run there.
15 carries, 50 yards, and 3 touchdowns last week. Army already with 4 runs of 10 or more yards in this game. Keyshawn Johnson in there on the stop on Christian Anderson.
Really well done there by ULM's defense. Kevin Pointer was all over the fullback. Anderson had to pull it off. In fact, Pointer hit Anderson right at the mesh point. He bounced off, and then Keyshawn Johnson was able to finish him off. That gives him a chance. When you only give up a couple yards on 1st down, it gives you a chance.
So you've mentioned Pointer twice. We got flags on the play here. We'll wait till Roach gives us the word.
Army had too many.
Substitution infraction on the offense, breaking the huddle with 12 players. It's 5-yard penalty to 2nd down.
Jeff Monken, I'd normally say spit and fire, but not with a mask on. He's still getting into his guys. He loves this place. He loves this program.
Nothing gets him more frustrated than pre-snap penalties like that. And those penalties hurt any offense in any level of football, but they are typically absolutely killer for Army because it makes it a lot more difficult for them to get in 4th and go for it territory with it being 2nd and 13. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Anderson throw it for the first time today.
Trying to stay on schedule, running this triple option attack. Anderson instead gives it off up the gut, and there goes Cade Bernard inside of ULM territory, tripped up inside of the 35-yard line. 1st down. The march continues for Army.
Army's going right back on the football again. Watch Bernard. It's just a fullback dive. Terrific job by Artis Hobbs, the wingback, and he just keeps going. He got lost behind that pile.
36-yard pickup. Anderson, his right foot stuck in the ground pretty good. Slipped a little bit there, but able to maintain his composure there. Good pickup there on 1st down. Armed Forces football is proudly supported today by ServPro.
Man, there's some killer plays here for ULM, Ben. I mean, the sack on 3rd down, the blocked field goal, and then you get him in 2nd and 13, and you let Barnard go right up the middle for 30-plus yards.
2nd and 6. Anderson, good job, good pursuit there. He had 4 white jerseys, 5 white jerseys getting to the football.
I think he lost the ball,
and
Ben.
no whistle.
There was no whistle.
No, there wasn't. And that's huge. If they've got the ball, they do. Still discussing, no indication from the officials yet.
I think these electronic whistles are an issue.
Yeah, I do too.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time in this game a bunch of guys were standing around thinking the play was over.
Giving Mason Hussman credit for the fumble recovery if it stands.
Going on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. It'll be Louisiana Monroe's 1st down.
So they forced the turnover, and Mason Hussman up points, Ross. last December with 1:42 left in the fourth quarter. They turned the ball over there, and now it's into the hands of Jeremy Hunt. Matt Viator planned on playing them both. This young man comes out slinging it. Intended target over there was Josh Peterson, the tight end for the Warhawks.
I don't know that I've ever heard a coach say what Matt Viator told us about Jeremy Hunt playing with Colby Suits. He said we didn't have enough practices to decide who the quarterback would be.
Right.
And it's the truth. I mean, you know, we talked about it earlier. They had one practice over a 10-day period. So while they're in non-conference play here a little bit, he's going to let these guys try to figure it out.
First FBS game for Jeremy Hunt. Very good in his previous stops in the junior college ranks. Keeps it here to the 35-yard line. 35 coming up. Tackle made by Cedric Cunningham, who had a great week last week.
Hunt had one quick read there. It wasn't there. He saw space in front of him, and he took it. 3rd and 5 gives them a lot of possibilities. You can do anything quick to the outside. You still have Peterson, who's really yet to be a factor. He's the wing back to the right. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a pretty good matchup there with how they have him placed in the wing position.
ULM 1 for 4 on 3rd down. Hunt with time, near side, flings it up there. Caleb John on the coverage, and Bloomfield came up a little bit gimpy when he came down there on the right leg, brings up 4th down.
Caleb John rises to the occasion again in man-to-man coverage. They kept Peterson in to block. He's been doing a lot of that in the first half so far, but John, who's typically a backup, but they've been banged up. They've had some suspensions at corner, and John faring well there in man-to-man coverage. The Army coaches were a little bit concerned about that.
Solid play there on a very good receiver. Jared Porter on to punt again, averaging 27 yards a punt, 17 and then 30. Time now to take a look at today's Mercedes-Benz player profile. It's a young man out of the Bronx. You see some of the particulars on him. That 80-yard touchdown pass. You and I were here for that last year, Ross, to Artis Hobbs, and said he has no military in his family. He wanted to serve his country and got an opportunity to come here and doing some good things here, both on the field and in the military for our country. Anderson, nice piece of running here, cuts back inside of the 40 and dropped just shy of the 41. Let's get down to Tina.
During quarantine, Christian Anderson went home to the Bronx, and as you know, New York City was the epicenter of the coronavirus. He said it was scary. He did not leave his house for a month, and his parents got the virus. Anderson said his mother Denise and his stepfather Robert had COVID-19. They were sick, but they never had to be hospitalized. When they were finally better, they just spent that family time together they don't normally get to do.
Yeah, and these Army, the men and women here at the academy, they've all really been shut down since March, and it's continued for them on the post as Anderson putting together a demo reel, as we'd say in the business here, after a 21-yard gain. Does that. Moves the chains again, does Christian Anderson. Gain of 16, Ross.
And Ben, that was a broken play. The timing was not right between Tyrell Robinson and Christian. Look, he wants to pitch it. Tyrell Robinson's not there. He makes Mason miss, tuck it away. Wow, that is the second time in this game that Army has essentially had a broken play or a missed assignment that Anderson has been able to make up for with his legs.
Army approaching 200 on the ground. Anderson carrying for the 15th time here. Took a heavy shot as the stop was made there by Austin Holly, one of their safeties, a senior out of Gladewater, Texas.
Brent Davis told us that the free safety position, which is what Hawley plays, really tough to get to against these 4-2-5 defenses. There's 5 defensive backs out there, so they don't really have anybody to account for the free safety, Hawley. So he's responsible. He's way back here, Hawley. He's responsible for the quarterback either way. So he's right over the middle. Whichever way the quarterback goes, Hawley is attacking.
Anderson, 15 carries, now going to go to the air, got him wide open, missed the target. He was looking for that outstanding freshman they love so much in wideout, Isaiah Alston. That was 6. He comes up incomplete, though.
And they fooled Hawley. Hawley is so excited to try to stop it. Watch Hawley. He's so excited to try to stop the run. He steps up and lets the post go right behind him. Free safeties respond. Watch, steps up. I got to go get. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He didn't realize it. Really a poor throw by Anderson. That should have been a touchdown. And Anderson's probably kicking himself right now.
They are very, very high on Isaiah Alston. Maybe they go back to him here on 3rd and 7. Instead they go up the gut, and they're going to spot him at the 37. They need the 33 to get the first down. It's 4th and 4 now, kind of no man's land here.
Really unique position on the field. Too far for a field goal, and if you punt it, unless you think you can get it inside the 10, you're probably only getting about a net 17 yards. I wouldn't be surprised if Army goes for it here.
Bringing on Robinson. Roberts has checked into the game as well. And number 15, Raheem Murphy, at one of those slot back positions. So they're going to line up here, it looks like, and go for it on 4th and 4. I mean, I saw him go against Air Force 2 years ago at midfield with 30 seconds left in the game on 4th and 1. Not surprised at all. This play is blown dead before it ever takes place.
Before the snap, Army takes its first time out of the half.
So there you go. Timeout for Army. They've got 2 left with 6:14 remaining in the half. All 3 for ULM in the timeout department here. And we're going to take one as well. We'll step aside here at Michie Stadium. Army on the move, up 14-0. And Josh Peterson, an 11-yard pickup there with that stud tight end for ULM.
Finally, Peterson, he was in the wing position again. He's just going to run right down the field. Broughton realized it, but was a little too late. You see Broughton, the safety, pounding the ground because he saw it coming just a hair late there.
The son of Eagles head coach and, well, Northeast Louisiana alum. That's what the school was called when Doug Peterson played there. Well-schooled, well-taught. Josh Johnson, the other Josh, pickup of a yard. He had some productive carries a couple of drives back, but it didn't result in anything for the Warhawks offense.
And I think we need to re-emphasize just what these guys did a year ago. I mean, Peterson was all conference. Hit a conference high, 43 catches, 567 yards, and 9 touchdowns at tight end.
The 9 touchdowns, Ross, tied for the national lead.
Right, and then Johnson, all he did was average almost 6.5 yards a carry. He had 8 runs over 30 yards.
Yep, one of 4 running backs in the country last year. 6 or more yards a carry with 200 or more carries. This time they go to the air to Josh Johnson. And it brings up a 3rd down coming up here. Gain of 7.
Suits has an arm, man.
He does.
I mean, did you see that? That was a frozen rope right there. Johnson ran a little bit of a wheel route, and Suits just put it right on him.
Out of 40, Texas. 3rd and 2. What are you thinking here, Ross?
Well,
Run, pass, what do they do?
Well, I think the first thing you're thinking, Ben, is that this is 4-down territory.
Sure.
I mean, at this point, you almost have to. So my guess is, out of the pistol set, that this will be a run to Johnson.
Suits is 5 for 6 for 86. There's a flag on the field.
False start. Offense, number 88. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And it's on one of their tight ends. That's on Tyler Lamb, the senior out of Metairie, Louisiana.
It's just such a killer.
It is.
I mean, you get 3rd and 2 because of the nice throw by Suits to Johnson. Lamb's to the right of the screen. I didn't see him move there. Maybe he flinched right before that.
Well, 3rd and 7 coming up. 4 minutes remaining. Cora Cadets in the house for the 2nd straight week here at Michie. 1 for 5 are the Warhawks of ULM. Suits got plenty of time. Zings one down the middle, finding the seam there, and getting into space and getting the first down was Josh Peterson.
They're finally getting the ball to Peterson, and Suits, you said it, all kinds of time. And when he has time, he can deliver a really nice ball there. Peterson works the middle of the field extremely well, lit up Florida State a year ago.
He certainly did in that game. 6 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Interesting on Peterson. Talked about his dad and all that. His dad played at the same school. He was a golfer until the last couple of years of high school. His best round is 66 He can play Johnson to the outside, puts a foot in the ground, and gets around Cunningham. And a good piece of running there by Josh Johnson, setting up 1st and goal at the 9 for ULM.
Army brought pressure off the edge, but they didn't go flat enough. Fabrice Foyne needs to be flat down the line. Johnson was able to sneak back out inside, and ULM's in business.
The Josh is indeed taking over on this drive for ULM. Pick up a 25 there. Suits into the breadbasket of Johnson, takes on the defender head on and shoved him back a couple of yards, did Josh Johnson, as we're inside of 3 minutes to go, all 3 timeouts for ULM.
You'll see Johnson, not a lot of room to run here, so he just puts his head down to Radigan. Wow. I mean, that's quite the collision there.
Sure is.
And you're right, Ben, ULM taking their time. All 3 timeouts. Yep. Ideally here, they score a touchdown and only leave a little bit of time left on the clock for Army. The good news is Army doesn't run a very good 2-minute drill. So even if they just get it under 2 minutes, it's a pretty good sign for ULM, although Army's late to get a guy out there.
Hustling to get off. Suits. Play fake. Now looks near side. End zone. Flag down in the corner. And it is caught in the corner. Malik Jackson with a touchdown grab. There is a flag down.
I'm not sure Army got their 12th guy off the field.
That's my thought too, Ross.
Substitution infraction on the defense. 12th play to not get off the field in time. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
So it is a good play, and ULM their first points here in 2020 on the touchdown catch of 6 yards by Malik Jackson from that young man. Colby Suits making his first career start for ULM. And they're right in this game, Ross Tucker.
Absolutely they are. Heck of a drive by Suits to move the ball down the field for ULM.
Eating the holder, Hughes, he is true. 14-7. Jackson and company celebrating on the sideline for the Warhawks of ULM. It started with a stop on 4th down. And we go back to the touchdown I mentioned from Suits to Jackson. Take us through it, Ross.
Watch both number 2s, Jackson and Malcolm Morrison, as these 2 guys are just going to clear out. You'll see Morrison, the defensive back for Army. He gets his eyes in the backfield right there. Oh, it's over. Once he saw those 2 guys break in front of him, he vacated his zone. It was over. Really nice design to have the 2 outside receivers clear out so Jackson could run the corner route there, and Morrison's eyes were not disciplined enough.
So Army with the football, just across their 20-yard line. Anderson to the air, fastball, and that one was way too fast for Brandon Walters. Had a terrific week last week blocking for Army. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, Brent Stover, Houston Up, Randy Cross, and Kevin Carter. We'll get you caught up on all the latest scores and news in college football. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. 6 games last Saturday, Ross, 19 this Saturday.
Army needs to be careful here.
They do.
2 minutes left. They have 2 timeouts. This is not their strength. You don't want to turn the football over here or have an interception. You also don't want to give the ball to ULM quickly.
Right. Their mojo is sky high right now, and Anderson punished down to the turf just over the 25-yard line, taken down from behind there. Good physical play by Kevin Pointer. You mentioned his name twice earlier in the game. Defensive coordinator Scott Stoker said, I told him he's playing his first college game. You better keep your pads down or they're going to run you to the mess hall. 3rd and 6 here. Anderson takes a shot. Ball floated out there. And incomplete. Anderson back out of your picture is down on the field just across the 15-yard line. He took a wicked shot, pressured by Travion Webster. Christian Anderson, a heavy hit delivered by Webster.
I told you, Ben, this is not what Army does well.
No, it's not their strong suit.
Obvious passing downs, out of the shotgun. Travion Webster came on a blitz, and he hit Anderson right in the ribs. They practice it, just not nearly as much as all of the run game stuff.
Here's a look, Ross.
You'll see Webster, he's the top of your screen. He comes in unblocked, boom, right there.
That right arm is An area that did not look good coming down.
Kudos to Webster, by the way, for a good legal tackle there. He'll get his head out of it.
Yep.
Hits him a little bit, but not with the crown of the helmet.
So Anderson is on his knees as far as he's gotten. He was really rocked on that hit by Webster. Jabari Laws, who saw a lot of playing time last year with Anderson, still not ready to come back. Jamel Jones right now listed as their backup. A 4th down and 6 as they'll tend to Anderson. There's Jamel Jones, number 7 there. Saw him late in the game last week.
The more immediate thing right now is that Louisiana Monroe has a chance to get more points on the board. They've got 3 timeouts.
Yep.
It's a minute and a half. I thought maybe they would use a timeout after 2nd down when Army ran the football. They elected to keep it. That's the first 3 and out all year for Army. And now ULM should get the ball in pretty good field position with all 3 timeouts. And Colby Suits, their quarterback, throwing the ball well right now.
Zach Harding, first punt of the season. They came in 142 minutes and change since they last punted. Here's Carter. He's a speedster, running out of room though, and he'll be gang tackled around the 23. So a minute 16. All 3 timeouts after a 54-yard punt, Ross.
We don't talk about it often enough, but special teams is a huge factor.
Huge.
That was awesome by Army right there. I mean, just an absolutely terrific punt. And then excellent coverage all across the board. I really thought ULM was going to get excellent field position. Instead, they're backed up.
Yep. Colby Suits. He's worn the suit well so far. 7 for 8.
I was going to say
108.
I was going to say that stat line suits him pretty well.
It does suit him pretty well.
We're both trying to get that suits pun in.
Here we go. All kidding aside, key point in this half. And to the outside, not much there for Chandler Whitfield, one of their wide receivers. 2nd down coming up, clock moving, 3 timeouts for ULM.
Kind of in that no man's land right now where nobody wants to use the timeout because ULM doesn't want to use a timeout in case Army then would get the ball back. But they're taking way too much time here.
They are.
I mean, even if you're not going to use the timeout, you don't want to take up this much time because you're not that worried about Army scoring on the other. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that's bad again for the 2nd straight week. Issues in the end of this
Louisiana
first
Monroe
half.
takes its first time out of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
So 43 seconds remaining here. 2 timeouts for Matt Viator, and just bad clock management there.
I'm okay with them not calling the timeout right away, but then you got to call a play.
Right.
I mean, you got to be up on the ball and you got to go. And you sure as heck don't let 20 seconds go and then call a timeout.
Right.
And watch the end of this play.
Yep. That's the 1st down play.
Minute 10 on the game clock.
Well, 25 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean 27 seconds.
Yep, 27 to be exact.
That they just wasted. You know, I think it should be noted that last week when Middle Tennessee had their clock management debacle, it was their first game of the season.
Right.
This is ULM's first game of the season.
Matt Viator, 5th season as their head coach. He's got 2 TOs left, 43 seconds to go. Here we go on 2nd down. From the gun, some pressure coming late. Radigan got in there and allowed his teammates to drop Colby Suits. Eric Smith in there. Bonsu in there trying to rip the ball out. Timeout taken.
Army takes its 2nd timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
1 left for them, 2 for ULM with 37 seconds to play in the half.
These Army blitzes have been awesome. Watch Radigan again, 47, hesitation, delayed blitz. West goes inside, Radigan's free. ULM not doing a good job with their blitz pickup at all. And if you're Suits, you got to throw that ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you either throw it away or you throw it to somebody. But now you take a huge loss, and the clock would have kept running if Army didn't call timeout there.
Yep.
Pretty poor last couple plays here by ULM. And so now everything's totally flipped.
Right.
My guess is ULM will do something very conservative here, Ben, to try to keep the clock moving and force Army to use their last timeout and then punt it away, try to punt it away to Army with less than 30 seconds left on the clock.
Army with 2 sacks in the game. We're being told Christian Anderson has been taken back to the locker room, or was taken back to the locker room. 3rd and 14 here. Josh Johnson to the left of Colby Suits from the shotgun. Suits, and he had a man there, just underthrew the pass there, looking for Jonathan Hodo.
I don't think Hodo would have gotten the first down anyway.
No.
And now they don't even run any clock, and they save Army a timeout. So now Army gets the ball. It was only 4 seconds they ran off the clock, and they didn't force Army to use their last timeout. Man, that's 3 plays in a row, Ben, that are objectively really poor. The first one, not calling timeout and taking too much time.
Yes.
The second one, Suits not getting rid of the ball. And the third one there, not forcing Army to use their last timeout. Let's see if Army comes after it again.
Yes, that's the key thing. 4th punt of the day for Jared Porter, averaging 32.7. Just needs to get rid of this thing and get it downfield as far as he can. Good effort out of him there. And it'll go out of bounds on ULM's side of the field, just shy of their 48 with 27 seconds to play in the half. Army's got 1 timeout remaining, a 28-yard punt. So Jamel Jones will come into the game. Christian Anderson was hit on a heavy shot delivered by Travion Webster on Army's last possession. You see the particulars on Jones here. What do they do here, Ross? They try to get something here, they just run it out.
Well, we're about to see how much they trust Jamel Jones, because they're only 17 yards away from their field goal target line, which is around the 30. Monken said 30-yard line, 47-yard field goal. So only 17 yards away.
For Landon Salyers. And there go the whistles.
Flag on the play.
Now they're 22 yards away.
Right.
Before the snap, false start. Number 76 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down. Please just set the game clock to 27 seconds. 0-2-7. Thank you.
Peyton Reeder, the guilty one there, and you said 22 yards away now.
And I think we got what's the right guard, Peyton Reeder here. You'll just see him move out of his set. Yeah, that was pretty obvious. Mason Hussman even pointed at him.
Second Army penalty of the day for 10 yards.
They looked like, though, Ben, they were trusting Jones to make a throw and try to get in field goal range.
He did. Here he is out of the shotgun. Murphy was the motion man. Pressure coming. Jones forced out, flings it way under, throws the target, but somehow Alston got back. Did he make that catch? Isaiah Alston looked like it was 2-3 yards short, Ross.
Are you kidding me? Now, first down, so the clock stops on the first down till Army gets up on the ball.
And play halted. Timeout was taken by ULM there. They've got 1 left.
I think ULM called timeout because they want the replay official to take a look at it.
I'm with you, and our replay official is Mark McEnany for the 2nd straight week.
Louisiana Monroe takes its 2nd timeout of the half.
So 16 seconds timeout left here in the half. Here's a look back at the catch. They said was a catch by Alston. Are you kidding me?
Going on the field is a completed catch for a first down. That play is under further review.
That's a catch.
He got that left hand under it. Credit Viator, by the way, for calling timeout so that they do take a look at it. Watch the left hand. Hard to tell from that angle because we're behind Alston and his body. But the first angle we saw, it looked like he got his left hand under it. And if you notice, the ULM guys are not saying it's incomplete, really. Hawley right there, 15.
Yep.
Now, he did point a little bit.
Yeah, he pointed at the ground.
This is the best look. Watch the left hand. Man,
that is amazing.
I can't see it touching the ground.
I don't either.
He got it.
I'm with you. I agree with you. He is a like Tyrell Robinson, a big-time prospect, special kind of player.
It might have touched the ground, Ben, but I don't see indisputable visual evidence to overturn it and say it definitely touched the ground and he didn't possess the football.
You know, the replay official today, Mark McEnany, as I mentioned, part of the tweak to this process this year in college football was if you can't make a decision within 2 minutes, the call stands on the field. It was a tweak this year. Call on the field was a catch and a first down at the ULM 23 was the call on the field. Army's got a timeout remaining, 16 seconds to go. As we take another peek here, we're going to get the word here soon from Mike Roach.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands to be a completed catch for a first down. Because the replay process was initiated at the same time as the timeout, Louisiana Monroe will not be charged their timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
All right, so Mike Roach cleaning things up there for us. They got 2 left, 16 seconds. They go in the end zone a couple times to Alston. He is 6'4".
Right, well, they're already in field goal range. You have the 1 timeout. You really don't want to use that timeout unless there's a play in the middle of the field. Army needs to be up on the football, though, here because the clock will start running as soon as it's set for play, as soon as he winds it, because it was a first down.
Correct. There it is. Clock moving. Jones pressured, knocked down. They go to the end zone, and you got 7 seconds remaining now.
Man, I really don't like Army waiting 4 seconds to snap the ball there. I mean, it might have cost you a chance at another play.
Right.
Pressure up the middle.
There is no foul for grounding on the play as there was a receiver in the area.
So that's a mental error there in my mind, Ben, because you knew that it was a first down and that the clock would start on the set for play. I don't know why he went through a 4-second cadence. Now they got to be really quick because you don't want to take the chance of not getting a field goal attempt here.
7 seconds left on the clock. Army's got a timeout. And, well, now they don't. They took their last timeout with 7 seconds
Army
remaining.
takes its final timeout of the half.
And I'll tell you what I think this is, Ben. This is Jeff Monken telling his guys, hey, there's only 7 seconds. We go to the end zone or nowhere. You can't scramble around. It's a young quarterback in Jamel Jones. He wants to make sure he knows you got to throw the ball into the end zone to somebody or into the back of the end zone, throw it away so that we make sure we get a field goal attempt here. That's what he's telling him right now, I'm telling you.
Right. Out of timeouts is Army.
And actually, they're not even going to give him that opportunity.
Salyers is coming out. Yep.
Yep.
And he knocked through a 44-yard field goal last week. DeCorian Patterson of Middle Tennessee ran into him. It kept the drive alive, but that thing was good from 55.
I wonder if Anderson was in, if they would have given him that opportunity. But with an inexperienced guy like Jones, the only way they'd really feel bad is if they didn't get this field goal attempt.
So 40-yard attempt for Salyers. His career-long 42 against Liberty, the only field goal he's made in his career. And ULM took a timeout.
Before the snap, Louisiana Monroe takes its 2nd timeout of the half.
Well, and that got blocked. Yep. So I don't know if Viator's regretting that right now. You can even hear the electronic whistle sound different, Ben.
Very different.
It is a different sound. You know, they don't want to have real whistles because of COVID and the pandemic. They don't want the officials to be having all kinds of spittle and saliva 300 times a game. So instead they have these electronic whistles and they sound different for sure. And I wonder if the guys just aren't used to them at times.
Yeah. There's a look at it right there.
In his left hand.
Yep, left hand. Spittle? I don't know that I've ever heard that word. Spittle.
You know what? In the CBS seminar, Steve Shaw, the officiating coordinator, used the word spittle. I don't know that I've ever used that word either.
So here's Salyers trying to make it a 10-point lead. Good snap, good hold. Landon Salyers, that baby is good and through. And Army's up by 10. So Monken's guys get points here to increase it to that 10-point lead with just 2 seconds remaining in the half.
I feel like I always need to wait till the cannon's pulsing through my brain there, but that's a big kick by Salyers. I mean, it looked like ULM had a chance to have momentum at the end of the half, but their mismanagement of the clock is what enabled Army to have the opportunity to throw the ball from Jones to Alston. The tremendous catch by the freshman Alston gets 3 points and a 2-score lead for Army. That's brutal for ULM that they allowed Army to get a 2-score lead at the end of the half like that.
Beautiful West Point Saturday here. Cora Cadets approximately 4,300 here. Onto their squad, 17-2 here. Since the 2017 season, ULM, their opener here in 2020. One of 12 teams like Army trying with the hopes of playing all 12 games.
And if you think about it, Ben, the third down for ULM, if they had done something to keep the clock moving and forced Army to use their last timeout, Army doesn't get a chance to get that field goal off right there potentially.
Isaiah Phillips back there along with Perry Carter. Carter number 14. They may not even get their hands on the ball. Jeff Monken talked about how dangerous their return men are. The speed they've got back there. Salyers, he's going to squib it down there. And a good kick by Landon Salyers, keeping that out of the hands of Phillips. There are 2 seconds remaining in the half. And they'll have it from the 25-yard line.
Really 2 options here for ULM. You can take a knee and take it in the locker room. Or you have, look, Jeff Monken's not happy that no time went off the clock. He did not want them to be able to get a snap at the end of the half here. So they can either take a knee, or there are some end of game, end of half plays that they have where they could throw it deep. But when you see the halfback way deep like this, right, all the way at the back, that means they're taking a knee.
Yep.
He is the safety valve. So they're taking a knee, and he's there just in case Herm Edwards is out there for the Miracle of the Meadowlands.
Yep, that's right. There's the knee from Suits, and back in.
Webster's not messing around. Watch him scrape over the top here to make the tackle. He sees the block down. He's scraping outside. McCoy bounces. That's a form tackle right there. I mean, Webster, wow. I would not like to collide with that young man. He's had 3 or 4 big-time hits in this game already.
2nd and 7 now for Army. Murphy, the motion man. And on the ground, they pitched it out near side. Webster on that again, as that was Tyrell Robinson, who covered up 3rd down, coming up 3rd and long for Army.
And they had something there. This is the 3rd time in a row. You'll see, here comes Robinson, left side of your screen. The pitch by Anderson was just a little bit in front of him. That's 3 in a row, Ben, where Anderson and Robinson are not quite in sync with the pitch relationship and the timing.
So 3rd down and 8 now. Anderson cuts back inside. Good job getting in there. Making the tackle down low by Sweeney. Kilo Sweeney and Army slowed up in their tracks.
What a 3 and out there by UL. I mean,
Yep.
the 2nd down dropped pitch really helped. But this is just quarterback zone to the side, and a nice job right there by Sweeney to slow him down. Because Sweeney was really responsible for the pitch guy, and he faked like he was going to the pitch guy and still was able to get a piece of Anderson to slow him down.
So Harding on to punt for the 2nd time today. 54 on his first effort. Puts the right foot into it. And the fair catch made at the 35-yard line by Perry Carter Jr. And that's where ULM will have their first possession after a 38-yard punt here in the 3rd quarter. Colby Suits in that first half. He started the game, Ross, came out for a series. Hunt came in, and then Suits came back in, let him down the field.
He did. The touchdown drive was especially good. He had the deep post there. They weren't even able to score on that drive to Bloomfield. Then it was Peterson, the all-conference tight end, finally able to get in the end zone there for the touchdown to Malik Jackson. 8 for 10, 109 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's filling in for a guy that had started 34 straight games in Caleb Evans.
Yep. Caleb Evans was a good one. 3-year starter near side, and Carter went up, could not hang on to it. Good coverage there from the secondary, and Julian McDuffie was on the coverage for Army.
Nice job by McDuffie. You know, he's another guy out there playing because Javari Bordeaux is injured. And McDuffie in man-to-man coverage able to break on that football and not let ULM even get a modest gain.
Josh Peterson, the motion man. They look his way, then come back swinging up. Josh Johnson eluded one tackle, couldn't get away from the other two. And he has dropped. Good work in there. Nolan Cockrell in there again. Man, has he had a great start to 2020, a loss of 3.
Starting to get a man crush on Cockrell. Watch him right here. Watch him the whole play, okay? He's going to rush, and then this is called a retrace. He rushes. Uh-oh, something's fishy. I got to retrace. Try to get on this play. Chase him down. Man, that's a 285-pound nose tackle right there. He's a stud. He really is. I mean, we're a game and a half in. I can already tell you, he's a dude.
Babina Bonsu said earlier this season he's strong, he's just a dog, and Suits gets away, fires a dart in there, and it's caught, and it is close, but it's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down. They pick up 12 there. Does Viator dare go for it here?
I think you got to go. I mean, did you come here to keep it close, or did you come here to try to win?
Came here to win. Hodo with the catch.
And then I think you got to go. I mean, it's 4th and I'd say 3/4
of the Army-Navy game. Is just an experience that can match the Super Bowl. You know, people playing football, you dream of playing in games like these. Growing up, I didn't understand the importance of this rivalry till I actually played in it. And just seeing millions of fans watching, I think that's amazing and special.
Artis Hobbs, the senior out of Georgia, his thoughts on that Army-Navy game, and just 91 days to go in the countdown to America's game. It's the Army-Navy game presented by USAA on CBS Sports. Hobbs, part of that backfield now, 4 years. He and Kel Walker have made some huge plays. Of course, Kel graduated now. Here's Anderson. Army 3 and out of the last series, and they are all over Christian Anderson. Austin Holly right in his jersey to make the stop there. Gain of a yard.
Travion Webster is a bad man.
He's balling.
I mean, watch number 10 right here. Watch the collision with Sandon McCoy. We've seen Sandon McCoy annihilate guys.
Yes.
Watch Travion Webster, number 10. Watch this. Boom!
Wow.
Unloads, uncorks his hips. I mean, that is as violent of a collision as you'll see in the sport of football. A fullback and a linebacker taking 5-yard runnies at each other.
27 tackles a season ago and 11 games played. 6 his best game of the season last year against South Alabama. There's Webster again, right on cue, Ross Tucker. He is playing some inspired football.
It's like they just let him out of quarantine and he's unleashed. I mean, I might just watch Webster every play. Watch him run out here and make this play. Watch this.
That's big time.
I mean, he is flying.
That's on Tyrell Robinson, their fastest guy on offense.
I mean, Travion Webster is introducing himself to America today.
Army 3 of 7 on 3rd down. They need 8 here. Anderson, nowhere to go. As Holly and Webster just getting after it here. They've clearly made some adjustments here, Ross Tucker.
I mentioned earlier that the free safety is usually unblocked when you run a 4-2-5. Brent Davis told us it's hard to get to the free safety. Watch Hawley. As soon as he sees the down block, he attacks it. He sees that Robinson, he's right there. Nowhere else to go for Anderson. That's an easy tackle for Hawley. ULM comes out of the second half ready to go on defense.
Scott Stoker, their defensive coordinator. I love when you asked him, he said, when did you find out you were playing Army? When you got the job in college. Fake by Army, and here they go into the open field. A fake, and they're still with it. Down to the 20-yard line, and they pull that out of the special teams bucket. Outstanding play call. Wilson Cato, the junior linebacker, with the fake, and they execute it to perfection.
Are you kidding me? Watch Cato right here. He'll get the direct snap and then hit it right there. It gets a terrific down block by the wing right there. The ball goes right to Cato. He's got 2 lead blockers. Huge hole. And Cato even breaks a tackle and gets some extra yards. You want to talk about a gutsy play call by Jeff Monken? It's 4th and 10. Not 4th and 5, 4th and 10. Army better hurry up here and get the snap off.
Down to 5 on the play clock. On that fake punt, a gain of 47 yards.
Jacoby Buchanan
with the carry.
in the Coca-Cola
Today's Red Zone being brought to you by Verizon. That's what Army has done today. Perfect so far. And there's Travion Webster.
I still can't get over the fake punt. I mean, Ben, they were pretty deep in their own territory. It's 4th and 10. You're up by 10. They could have given ULM a great opportunity to make this a 1-score game.
Anderson gives off to Buchanan. Webster another tackle, but it is no easy task to get Buchanan to the ground.
You're not knocking him backwards.
No.
I mean, we've seen Webster light up a bunch of guys in this game. You're not knocking him. I mean, 6 foot 260.
Yep.
Ben, how tall are you?
With my hair spiked up, 6 foot.
How much do you weigh?
195.
Do you think you could put on 65 pounds?
No.
That's what Buchanan is. 6 foot 260.
It hurt my golf game.
It's like a rolling ball of butcher knives.
That's why they call him the wrecking ball. First and goal, Army. That play blown up. Great work by the Warhawk front there. Deontay Roberts to stop the sophomore out of Arkansas. Pointer in there as well. Second and goal for Army now. Ball at the 6-yard line.
Pointer's got some quickness.
He does.
Watch him come right off the down block there at McCleary. Really good quickness. Man. And that's one where if that's who they're optioning, then Anderson needs to pull the ball and take it. Kind of weird to me that, again, no Sandon McCoy down here near the goal line.
Yeah.
Unbalanced line to the right. Usually where they go, Ben.
Anderson to fake to Bernard, and Anderson to the end zone. Christian Anderson, his 2nd touchdown of the day. The fake punt sets it all up. A 6-yard run for Christian Anderson. And Army on top 23-7 as they spend the cannon money.
And once again, they had that unbalanced line to the right. We saw that a lot last week. So you get the good blocks by McCleary, a lead block that
8-play drive, 65 yards, took 441. 47-yard fake punt you just mentioned, partner. The turning point of that drive as Salyers has it ready to go from the 35-yard line.
And remember, ULM was stoning Army on that drive.
They were.
I mean, they were.
Well, they go 3 and out the first one. The second one, then, yeah, they did.
There's going to be another 3 and out.
It was. It was looking that way.
Fake punt.
Yep. Toe meets leather from Salyers. And it's bobbled by Isaiah Phillips. Still gathers it, brings it out. Phillips to about the 17-yard line. That's where ULM will go to work here on offense, looking to get something going.
It's got to be a bad feeling, huh? You turn your back to 11 guys that are coming down to try to light you up.
All shot out of a cannon. Pun intended here.
New quarterback again. Hunt is back in the
Back
game.
in, yep. Jeremy Hunt, junior out of Oak Park, Illinois. Trinity Valley Community College last year. Prior to that, 2018 was in the D2 ranks at Central Missouri. Threw for over 2,200, almost 2,300 yards that year, right to the air this time, and is caught by the young man that's got their touchdown, Malik Jackson. Forced out of bounds. And spot him out around the 25-yard line. Right there, Ross, is Something I think if ULM goes to the air, they've got a better shot. Nate Woody behind the sign there and the mask.
I would just do what they just did right there often.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
Try to get, now look, they still have Josh Peterson, Josh Johnson, but get the ball out in space. Army's playing off. I mean, they're playing way off some of these receivers. Look at the top of the screen.
Hunt puts it into the breadbasket of Josh Johnson. Army, great pursuit, left side of the line. No gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. Malcolm Morrison leading the charge. Bonsu there in there as well.
No gain on the play.
They're just not getting a lot of guys blocked, Ben.
Yep.
I mean, if we're taking the 30,000-foot approach to this thing, the O-line for ULM is just not getting a lot of guys blocked in the run game. There's a lot of black jerseys there wherever Johnson tries to go. I mean, he averaged almost 6.5 yards a carry last year, was 13th in all of FBS with 108 yards a game.
3rd and 3, 5 to go in the quarter. ULM 2 of 8 on 3rd down. Hunt on the run. He's going to be short of the 1st down. Nathaniel Smith, the sophomore out of Fort Washington, Maryland, got him and forced him out of bounds.
That is a really nice job by Smith. Backup linebacker getting some playing time. Able to stop him short of the line to go, and now they're going to punt, and the players are frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't blame them, because less than 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, going against this Army offense, I don't want to say you're conceding, I don't want to say you're waving the white flag, but it makes it hard to have your guys believe you're trying to win in this situation. But I understand.
He can move.
Run?
Yeah.
I mean, he's 6'1", 290.
He looked like he was 210.
Legal formation, kicking team, too many men in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Oh, man. And now he's got to go back out there.
Yep. Let's look back at the whole sequence here, Ross.
I had said that Army was going to block one of these.
Yep,
They blocked that so easily, but it went right to Pointer. And Pointer, I mean, he was moving.
Porter boots it away. Clock never moved.
Game clock never moved.
And no indication, we're told, that it's staying at 4:03. And the 46 Army goes to work. Christian Anderson running their machine. Sandon McCoy to the 48 of ULM.
Unbelievable push up front there. It's almost quarterback sneak block. And watch the interior trio. Look at the white jerseys getting knocked back. Just knocked back. That's a beautiful thing. That's why you lift all those weights, to try to knock and push the opposition backwards.
Like a road grader. Boy, good job up front. Sean Johnson and company lead the charge. Down the Hudson to Brent Stover for an update in the studio. Brent.
Guys, big day for the Sun Belt. Louisiana wins at Iowa State, and Arkansas State, with his game-winning touchdown from Jonathan Adams, goes into Manhattan, beats K-State 35-31.
Thank you, Brent. I know that's painful for Brent. He's a K-State guy. The Sun Belt flexing their muscle today, Ross.
Wow. ULM's conference is having a day.
Yep. Buchanan, that's what he does. He just falls forward, gets you 2 yards, gets him a 1st down in this particular carry.
This is when Army really starts to wear on you, right?
Yep.
The ULM coaches told us they were a little bit worried about the conditioning of their guys. They really didn't put pads on since August 20th until last Wednesday, and they're not very deep at defensive end. Army just going to try to pound them for the rest of this game.
Yep, 2.5 and counting here in the quarter. 16 first downs for Army.
Unbalanced line to the right, usually where they end up going.
Yep. Each side of the field, Buchanan. Instead, the 32 belly option up the middle there to the 35. It'll be 2nd and a yard coming up. Armed Forces football today proudly sponsored by USAA. Buchanan out, McCoy in.
This could be a tricky down to go for the jugular here if you're Army and try to throw it deep. They do have Isaiah Alston in at the top of your screen.
He made a ridiculous catch in the first half. Did not look there was any chance that he was going to get that ball, and he got it. First down carry there. On a Sandon McCoy, stopped by Keyshawn Johnson, but they moved the chains.
I almost feel like Jeff Monken would rather just slowly bleed the clock and get first downs like that than even try to take a shot and get another touchdown.
Tyrell Robinson checked out of the game. One of the slot backs. There is Jeff Monken. Cade Bernard in at the B-back spot, as they call it here on post at West Point. Fullback spot. And Bernard, on the back of him was Austin Holly, but he dragged him for about 3 yards.
Trying to stop Army's run game and the option, it's so physically and mentally draining. And I think sometimes the defenses, they look at the clock. You see the total yards at the bottom, but they look at the clock. They see it's 24-7. Late in the third quarter, they know what's coming, and mentally they want to try to stop the run, but it's just difficult. Unbalanced line to the right one more time.
And Buchanan, little misdirection. Hill trotted for the touchdown. Not his forte, but he got into space, and he was all alone. A 25-yard jaunt to the end zone for Jacoby Buchanan.
Dare I say, Jacoby Fire the Buchanan just runs it right off the backside block. On the backside, Keyshawn Johnson wasn't tight enough. All of the action was going to the right. He took it all the way back behind the left guard. Really the backside B gap between the guard and the tackle. And ULM, I think, was just worn out.
Yep, looked that way. Salyers off the upright. He had one last week that went off the upright and through, but not this time. So Jacoby Buchanan, Ross, makes it third.
With some pretty good feet to be able to make that cut to the backside and proving he can do more than just bang into a defender and fall forward for a couple yards.
How about the mouthpiece there of Isaiah Phillips? I don't know that I've seen that before. He bottled another one. Phillips trying to get the edge. Phillips, good return, forced out of bounds. Good work there on the kick coverage group. And ULM will go to work from there with 16 ticks remaining in the quarter. Next Saturday, it all gets underway at 1:30. Our first doubleheader of the season on CBS Sports Network. It'll be Appalachian State taking on Marshall, followed by SMU and North Texas. Make sure you catch it all right here on CBS Sports Network. And App State, Zach Thomas, he is a good one, a special one, Ross.
He has been for a long time. I remember when they almost beat Penn State up in Happy Valley. He was awesome. That might have been his first start a few years ago.
So here goes Colby Suits back in the game. They gave Hunt a drive earlier, and there is a penalty flag. I was waiting. I felt that one was going to be flagged, and it was, with 10 ticks remaining here as they look for Chandler Whitfield that time.
Pass interference. Defense, number 22. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Cedric Cunningham, the guilty one there.
Look at the right side of your screen. You'll see him come across. Cunningham kind of cuts him off, trying to make a play on the football. I think that's the right call there. And when you've got Whitfield running a crossing route like that, you can't cut him off and make contact like he did.
It's a 14-7 game in the first half. Good-looking ball. Downfield, nearly picked. Diving to the turf there was Markel Broughton. And he had the receiver down that seam, but could not find him.
Broughton is one heck of a middle-of-the-field safety. Watch him come over from the left side of your screen. Covers a lot of ground. They've got a really nice underclass.
And in college athlete as well, and national championship for his dad at quarterback in 1987. Tina's got more. Tina.
Yes, and you mentioned Peterson's mom. Her name was Janine. She played basketball at Louisiana College. So just talking about dad and mom, the great athletes, I said, all right, Josh, who's the best athlete? And he said, Mom, me, then Dad. And hopefully Coach Peterson's not listening and he's just preparing his Eagles for Washington right now. But the reason being, he says Josh he still watches his mom put up shots in the driveway, and he said she's so fundamentally sound and technical. And that's why she's the best athlete of everybody.
Well, of course, Mom has to get the nod. That's great. It was fun talking with him the other day. Very colorful young man, a heck of a talent. He slides down to make the grab there. And they take it to the 40-yard line of Army after the catch. And there's proud father Doug, Super Bowl champion as a coach.
Get a chance to work with Doug Peterson a lot during the Eagles preseason telecasts, and he is number one, an awesome guy, and number two, an outstanding coach.
They have to have the Philly special in the playbook, I would think, for his son at some point, right? Makes another catch down below us. It's his drive. He must know we're talking about it.
Think about what his numbers are going to be by the end of this game. They might as well, you know, watching it now, it's like, why didn't they throw him the ball the whole game?
That was, yeah, exactly.
I mean, look at that coverage by Cunningham. I almost feel bad for him. There's not anything better you can do. It was a really good throw by Suits. Peterson always extends his arms, catches with his hands, and then brings it in.
He's got those good hands from all the years of golf. 5 catches, 56 yards for him so far. Tied for the national lead with 9 touchdowns among tight ends last year. That one off the back of the lineman there. Off the back of Tyler Johnson, number 50, who was at Tulane playing for Willie Fritz, and now he's a grad transfer at ULM.
Trying to set up a screen, but I can assure you the screen was not for Tyler Johnson's back of his head.
No.
I don't see any eligible receiver. I mean, there's Peterson.
Yeah.
I don't know who he was trying to throw it to, but there wasn't anybody out there looking like they wanted to catch it.
Colby Suits, 14 out of 19 for 148 and a touchdown to Malik Jackson in the first half. Now he tucks it and runs. Took a shot there from McDuffie. And they're going to give him the 29-yard line. Ryan Duran also in on the tackle for Army as we come up on 12 to play in the fourth.
Really like that play call there by ULM. Sometimes you run a draw, Ben, just to slow down the defensive linemen a little bit. You know, they're throwing almost every down. The D linemen are teeing off. You want to just try to slow them down a little bit with the draw. Let's see if Nate Woody, the Army DC, comes with pressure.
Saw Amadeo West there. Added to the watch list this week. What a story he is. Suits keeps it. Ball came out. Ball came out. Army's got it. Looked like it went right into the hands of Markel Broughton. And it did. And Army forces the turnover. They had 4 a week ago. Reeling them in. Another turnover forced by Army. Markel Broughton, the fumble recovery, the strip by Nolan Cockrell, who's been outstanding. And yeah, they've been making a stand, all right. But 8 tanks standing in front of these two teams they've played so far. That is very impressive what they've done defensively with a new coordinator. Jones looked like he wanted to take a shot. Instead has to tuck it and run. He's yanked down Kevin Pointer, who has been all over the joint today in a variety of ways. Makes a great stop there on Jamel Jones.
Army looked to take a shot there. A little surprising, trying to catch ULM off guard. Headsy decision by Jones to tuck it away, keep the clock moving, getting some positive yardage. But you're right about Pointer. I mean, he is athletic. He's going to be a stud in the Sun Belt the next 4 years.
Yep, redshirt freshman, 6'1", 287 out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Redshirted a year ago. Right defensive tackle spot now, and he's going to get a face full of Jacoby Buchanan. Buchanan, as he does, falls forward for 2 or 3 yards to the 35-yard line. It brings up 3rd down and 3.
These are the kind of situations Army lives for. Trying to grind clock now. You're up by 23 points. The clock is your friend. Keep it moving. Every first down is a couple more minutes off the clock.
Army 4 of 9 on 3rd down. Unbalanced line you talked to the left side this time. Buchanan able to take a couple of shots. Falls backwards and gets the 1st down. Austin Holly, the tackle. Last week they had 2 19-play drives. They had a 15-play drive earlier today.
We talk a lot about how big he is and how he falls forward. I think we need to give him more credit for how good his feet are and how good his vision is, because that's yet another run where he was able to use his feet to bounce it outside a little bit, 1 hole wider, and now they've got that unbalanced line to the right. That's usually where they like to go then.
Yep. Jamel Jones running the offense. Jacoby Buchanan right side. Christian Anderson was, if you weren't with us, took a big-time shot from Travion Webster late in the 1st half. He did come out and start the 3rd quarter. But you can be sure Brent Davis, Jeff Monk, and the offensive group, they're happy getting Jones in to get some reps here now. They did last week. They'll face BYU next week here at home. Buchanan 10 for 66 on the ground, and the touchdown he had 25 yards.
That BYU game next Saturday on CBS should be awesome. See BYU the other night against Navy? Holy cow.
I did. Navy didn't. Well, they saw him. They were just running by him. They looked impressive. Buchanan again, and he's like a little shy, about a half-yard shy of the 1st down. Inside of 9 to play. Army in control right now by 23. There is a schedule. BYU, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson will call that one and their crew. Cincinnati the next week. That's going to be a tough one for Army as well. We'll see it for the CBS Sports Network games. Our group. And then Air Force on CBS as well, and Navy to cap things off in Philly as always.
That's what I love. All those, all the CBS to the right.
Yep. All 8 home games, most they've ever had here at Army, are on our family of networks as ULM trying to strip that ball out of there. And Seth Mason, a freshman out of Allen, Texas. You look back at this game, Ross, and ULM came out. They looked outstanding the first 2 defensive times they were on the field, and then Army pulls the fake punt out, and that kind of, on the second one, kind of took the wind out of their sails after they went 3 and out to start the quarter, did Army.
It absolutely did, and yet another opportunity here this week for Army to have their whole 2nd string offensive line out there and get a lot of these guys some valuable reps.
Jones. Drop there.
Jones on the keeper.
Time now to take a look at our Day in the Life of a Cadet, brought to you by Verizon today. So you usually telestrate these. What grabs your eyes the most on all this on your, there it is.
Right there, he's a freshman at West Point taking Intro to War Fighting.
That's right.
I would like to take that class. Intro to War Fighting. Sounds better than math modeling to me.
Yes, component, whatever that was last week. That one, when I started here in 2012, they wanted me to go to a class just to kind of understand what they do here at West Point. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And it was with Nate Combs, a former linebacker / defensive end, as they pitch it to the outside, runs over defender and gets to the 40. So I go to class with Nate Combs, and it was basically how to execute an ambush. I was like, I don't want to leave. This is awesome. It was unreal, man. What an experience.
I didn't know you knew how to do that. We're in the same hotel a lot. I got to be careful. you know how to execute an ambush.
Well, I don't really know. I just, it was cool to watch them talk about it. The things they study and the post here are remarkable. Men and women that go here. 3rd and 1. The 40 of ULM. Buchanan, look at him again! Jacoby Buchanan! Can he get into the end zone? Yes! Oh, Jacoby Buchanan, a 40-yard house call, showing his feet, you mentioned, and his wheels for another Army score.
And his balance.
Yeah.
Jacoby fired the Buchanans again. Watch the balance. He bounces off. Watch the downfield blocking. Couple guys downfield.
He's 106, 2 touchdowns that totaled 65 yards for Jacoby Buchanan. We got to talk to him next time we're here, Ross.
He's like their home run threat. 260-pound home run threat.
That's quite a threat. Speed, size, strength. Good luck tackling him. This is Chandler Whitfield. He's stopped in his tracks. This Army team just relentless. Just relentless. Army 6 rushes of 20 or more, and this one was 40, Ross, on the house call.
And watch the downfield blocks by Kolinchek and Danier. Right there and right there. Yep. These guys are 10 yards downfield. Watch the finish here. Excellent job by Kolinchek, and an unbelievable job as well by Vashay Danier.
Yep.
That is Army West Point football. Total effort all the time, downfield. That's exactly what Jeff Monken will highlight when they watch the film tomorrow or Monday. That's the effort they have to have, especially next week against a really good BYU team.
You are right on with that, my friend. Jeremy Hunt now back in at quarterback out of the shotgun. Javid Myers at the running back spot. Pass over the middle. Flag comes in. Caleb John was on the coverage on the back of Jordan Carroll, the sophomore out of Forney, Texas.
Ball be placed at the spot of the foul, includes an automatic first down.
Left hand is tugging him right there, and then the right hand hooks him. Probably could have called interference or hold with either one. Kind of hugging him up and tackling him. You know, the thing is, he had such good coverage, he didn't need to do that. You just got to be smarter than that and know you're in pretty good position. Make the receiver have to make a play.
After the penalty, they go from the 32, swing it out. And forced out of bounds at the 40-yard line. The catch made by Jevin Frett. First time we've called his name today. Cameron Jones forced him out of bounds. 2nd and 2 coming up.
And this is good work for Jeremy Hunt.
Yeah.
You know, the other quarterback, the junior college transfer, they have not decided on who will be the full season starter. So this is an opportunity for him to show the coaches what he can do. Again, for people that
was a problem from the snap there for Ballon. Bad snap there.
Bellin keeps it.
That's the kind of stuff that Jeff Monken can't stand.
Right.
Not able to get the snap, was going to give it to Buchanan. Buchanan ends up hitting him from behind. That couldn't feel real good. But they were going to give it to Buchanan. He was probably going to fall forward for a couple yards to get the first down and seal this game. Instead, they're going to have to go for it here on 4th down. I think they brought Jones back in the game to try to get this first down and end it.
They've got Atkins in at fullback. You're right, they did. Tossed near side, bobbled, gathered in, first down, and that should do it. To the 41-yard line.
The pitch to Ijon Marshall.
Ijon Marshall, the pitch there in the first down. First time we've called his name this season with 90 seconds and counting left in the ballgame.
I'm going to give Brent Davis credit there again. Nobody thought they'd have a toss there. No, I mean, you're thinking fullback, maybe quarterback. The last thing you're thinking is a short side toss there. And I still don't think we'll see Jamel Jones running again. I don't think they want to take that chance. I think you'll see a handoff here to the fullback, probably 2 more of them to end this game.
Right. There's one. That's Atkins. To the 36-yard line goes Anthony Atkins. Kevin Pointer, he has played a heck of a football game. That's encouraging on the defensive side for them, him being so young. Pointer, and he has been impressive from the start of this game. He has been all over the place.
Never played before.
Right.
Coach Stoker told us a little bit Didn't know how he would perform, was anxious to see it. Now we got another quarterback in the game.
Brent Davis always keeping me on my toes.
Cade Ballard, the freshman from Greenville, Tennessee.
Greenville, Tennessee, he's in the game now. They're all getting a run. Atkins right side, and that's going to be the last play of this game.
On the carry.
Under 20 seconds to go. Seth Mason on the tackle. Jeff Monken will trot out. He and Matt Viator know each other going back to Monken's days at Georgia Southern. And Jeff Monken and his men are now 2-0 on the season, with BYU coming to Mikey next Saturday. A 30-point win for Army as they take out the ULM Warhawks.